it with Kay and Clay. Kicking it with Kay and Clay. Kicking it with Kay and Clay. Kicking it with Kay and Clay. Hey everybody, thank you for watching or listening to Kicking It with Kay and Clay. I am your girl Kay Marie, and it is March, and we are starting a new series. So the month of March, we're going to be talking about self-care. And it's a reason why I'm dressed like an exercise garb is because I just came from exercise class, and I want to give a shout out to Portia, the owner of Studio 88 Pole Fitness in Farmington, because she showed me so much love. So this is a freebie advertising for her. So if you're like in the Metro Detroit area, the studio is Studio 88 Pole Fitness in Farmington Hills. She not only focused on, the pole fitness. Like today, I just came from class. I did 2 classes today, and it was the twerk cardio. Y'all look, that's a workout, ladies. That is a workout. I think somebody in class said she burnt like 1,000 calories. 1,000. Okay. We were twerking, we were working. It's I have so much respect for people who do that pretty much for a living and stuff, because it takes work. It takes work. It takes strength and everything. So we did the twerk cardio today, and we did sultry stretch and core. It's just basically like a sexy yoga and Pilates like mixture of stretching and in a workout. It's my arms are so sore, y'all. You just don't know. But this is part of my self-care. I make sure that physically I take care of my body. I watch what I eat. I'm on that WW Weight Watchers, and it's working. It's working really good. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling great. So, but that's part of my self-care. And I know that, that word has been thrown around a lot the past several years. It's becoming one of those nonchalant words. Oh, self-care, self-care. What did that really entail? So we're going to be talking about that all this month. And today we are going to be talking about the physical aspect, the physical practices and routines of self-care. Again, this, part of mine is exercising, making sure that I take care of my body so I can be on this earth for a long time without any, if I can help it, without any ailments or anything like that. So today we have a health coach, Tiara Scott, and I am going to introduce her, y'all. You're in for a treat. So Tiara grew up in the small town of Lake City, South Carolina, surrounded by a large family. As a child, she enjoyed playing games of doctor, which one of her older brothers, but knew from a young age that she didn't want to pursue medical school. So in 2010, she ventured to the upstate to attend Clemens University and earned her Bachelor of Science degree in biological sciences and a minor in microbiology in 2014. I like that. She's a smart girl, y'all. She's smart. Tiara is super passionate about health education and is currently a Master of Public Health candidate at A.T. Still University. After kicking off her own personal wellness journey in 2016, she started to explore the idea of becoming a health coach, but didn't actually pursue the certification until late 2018. Tiara is a certified health coach through the American Council of Exercise and is also an American Heart Association Basic Life Support CPR instructor. She's not focused on school. Most of Tiara's time is spent teaching wellness and CPR classes, coaching clients, and making aromatherapy products. Okay, yeah, we got to talk about that. I like that. I love aromatherapy. Her mission is to help others achieve their wellness goals and become the best version of themselves. She enjoys reading books, watching superhero movies, and spending time with her many nieces and nephews. She is also a dog mom to her super energetic cockapoo Nala. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the show Tiara Scott. Hi, Tiara.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, yay, good. So that is a very impressive bio there. So microbiology.
Yes, so I really love microorganisms.
Mm,
I would say being a public health student right now in the middle of a pandemic, like, of course, the pandemic's been rough for this last
yeah.
year, but it's also been super exciting for me because, I mean, that's my long term goal. Like, I really want to work with infectious diseases.
Mm,
Um, so, yeah, I decided to get my minor in microbiology after taking a few classes. I was like, ooh, I actually like this, which is weird, but it is what it is.
I like that. So you're in there. I've always liked looking. I always prefer the microscope over the telescope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Because it's kind of cool. You're looking at the slides, the different, like you said, organisms, and it is. That's pretty cool. It's pretty
You would
cool.
just be surprised at just what's out there,
Mm.
and how nasty things can be, or just the little
Hell,
things that we do in
yeah.
general. It's just like, whoa.
Like what? Tell us some stuff.
Just people don't clean their phones,
Mm.
and your phone, you touch your phone all day. Your phone gets placed on countertops and things like that.
Mm.
Door handles are usually not things that people clean when they're cleaning their house. So you touch the door handle. Um, the bathroom, like I always close my toilet seat because you flush and it's just like, whew.
Yes. That's why I
Just like what?
that's why I have the toothbrush in the medicine cabinet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the little things that people don't think about. And even just, right now in the pandemic, with wearing the mask, people get so upset about wearing the mask, but in our normal activity and just what we're doing, us talking and breathing, we're always breathing out virons and putting them in the air. A sneeze
Wow.
puts out about 40,000 virons in the air per sneeze. So,
Wow.
in a normal day, we're infecting everybody. And then you have this, something like this going on. It's just those little things. But hopefully, what I'm hoping is just from us experience this year, some of the habits will stick, and then we won't have
Okay.
to worry about as many things. So
So do
we'll
you
see.
think like or do you think wearing a mask should stick, or do you think that's just it might be a little extreme once we contain or become
I
immune
think
to the coronavirus?
I feel like once we get it managed, we may be able to step away from masks.
Okay.
But I think it's just kind of also one of those things when you look at, flu season, our flu numbers have been down because everybody's wearing a mask. So you're not really,
Hmm.
you're minimizing those opportunities to be contagious. Well, you're going to be contagious, but infect other people. So me personally, like I don't love wearing a mask because I have
Mhm.
asthma, but then I also think
Mm.
about just the fact, you know, I'm not breathing in whatever anybody else is,
Yeah.
breathing out. So that kind of trumps my discomfort wearing the mask.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
yeah, I'm
mean,
just hoping.
it's sacrifice. We all have to
Mhm.
sacrifice. And okay, I could say something, but I'm not, because that's going to get into something else. But so do you think, before we get on to our self care, well, it's kind of part of self care too.
It's self care relevant.
Yeah, but do you think, like, do you think that it's going to be sometime soon? That.
No,
Okay.
no. Um, so I think that we're definitely in a space when you think about physical care. A lot of times people before this weren't talking about physical care and the things that you can do every day just to maintain your health in general. So everything that's being advised and put out. Isn't really anything different than what you should be doing on a regular basis. You should be getting sleep and washing your hands and those kind of things. Staying away from people when you're sick, which
Yeah.
people, for whatever reason, don't like to do. I think that right now, people are experiencing so much fatigue from having to stay away from people, and there's
Mm.
the social disconnect that's happening. So people are just like, at this point, if I get it, I get it.
Oh
And I
wow.
think when you have that mentality out there where people are either, they're just, I don't care, or they're not getting tested, um, it's going to make it harder to contain it. I think we're getting in a better place. The numbers are dropping.
Okay.
Um, but it's going to be a while. I think we probably have at least another 6 months to a year. I
Wow.
mean, if you get into the whole semantics of vaccines and how people feel about vaccines right now, we were already having issues with other vaccines. So getting
Right.
people to feel comfortable to take the COVID vaccine is just kind of like, okay, yeah. So I think it's going to be at least another 6 to 12 months. I'm hoping that it goes by faster, but I mean, you just
Because
gotta
the
be.
Spanish flu, if I'm not mistaken, didn't that really it took
It was
about
about a
a good
year.
2 years, wasn't it? Like
Mm-hmm.
a good 2 years?
Good 2 years or so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with when you look at like SARS, you
Mm.
know, China really just started lifting some of the sanctions that they had in place after SARS, and that was years ago.
Mm.
And they just started lifting those in the last 2 or 3 years, where they're kind of scaling back those regulations and how they've been asking people to maintain themselves. So, I mean, it really depends on the people, and I think that's the part that people fail to realize is like it's up to us to get out of this
It
box we're
is.
in.
It is. Yeah. And like you said, a lot of people, to being confined or some restrictions, because here in Michigan, not too long ago, I think it was February 2nd, the governor opened up uh like bars and
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, but only at like 25% capacity. So, we still living like on a limited, and then you have people like me is, kind of skittish. I'm like, I don't want to, because that's how it came back around again, when they open up
Yep.
the bars and stuff, people, being carefree and all that kind of stuff. Then the second wave came, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of this. I used to be a traveler, I'm gonna go back to traveling,
Yes.
but
I actually set a goal for myself, and one of my self care things for 2019 was to go on a trip every quarter. And I'm so glad I did that because 2020 was definitely a bust. Like everything we had planned, we had to cancel.
yes.
So, um, and now it's just like, we want to start planning trips. My friends and I, we're turning 30.
Mhm.
Um, so we wanted to do this Dirty 30
Yeah.
world tour. And it's just like, are we going to make it on our tour?
Whenever it's over, just make up for it. If
I
you're
definitely think that's,
30
what we're
plus,
going to end up doing.
yeah. Yeah. Like I tell people right now, it's good to sacrifice right now. It's only
Mm-hmm.
temporary. It's only
That's
temporary,
true.
so we can get back to doing the things that we are accustomed to doing. So in your
Mm-hmm.
bio, it mentioned that you had your own personal wellness journey in 2016. What was that?
Yes. So for me, it was all about the self care.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I had just got just really out of shape,
Mm.
and I just wasn't comfortable with the way things are going and how I was feeling at the time. And I feel like I'm kind of cycling back through and about to start a new one right now
Mhm.
because pandemic has definitely made me lazy.
Yes,
Um,
same.
but I just, kind of realized like I don't really love how I feel. And I think that kind of just having that moment to think about is like, okay, well, what can I actually do and take responsibility for, control, and make differences? So I joined a group fitness class. I started running every day, which
Mm.
is pure craziness for me. I was actually working 2 jobs in 2016 too. It was just a crazy time. So I would like
Mhm.
work my first job. I would go to the gym before I went to my first job, like at 6 or 5:30. Go to work, go to my second job, go to sleep. On the days I didn't go to my second job, I was running. Really just kind of pushing myself. I did a fast, um, and I always participate in Lent, even though I'm not Catholic.
Mhm.
And I decided that year that I was going to give up fast food,
Okay.
and it was really hard for me because I love French fries. Um, but
Especially
it
a
was
certain
eye opening.
place with the golden arches. That's
Right,
mine.
the golden arch is toxic, but it's so good. It's so good.
Mhm.
But yeah, I actually had this whole moment where I had found some I had some food that I had from some different fast food restaurants, and I just kind of watched it over a couple of weeks, and it didn't decay, it didn't get
Oh
moldy
wow.
or anything. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like if this is how this food looks and it's just sitting out, it's so well preserved. What is this looking like in my body? And that made me just change the way I was eating and how I just kind of focused on myself. And as I was learning things and really just evolving myself personally, people would just start asking me questions about
Mhm.
things like, oh, like how are you? You got so much energy, and what have you been doing? And I was like, I was really enjoying sharing my experience and helping people. And I was like, maybe I want to be a health coach. Maybe I want to do more in health education. Because at the time I thought I just wanted to work in a lab, possibly. Like that was my goal.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it kind of shifted my focus and made me realize, like, hey, I want to do more with actually helping people and being more hands on. And it kind of kickstarted me to where I am now. It pushed me in that direction.
That's awesome. Self-care is what I'm very passionate about as well. I was going to be like a health and wellness coach, or start programs, different
Mhm.
cities and stuff like that. But girl, that college tuition, that college tuition. Uh, I am not getting in that. But
It's
but
a
so
real struggle.
yeah. So so it's very near and dear to my heart, especially for our people,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't take much advantage of it. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that, we suffer a lot. We're always the highest in this category when it comes to ailments and diseases and stuff like that. And all it takes is just some good self-care.
Right. I think that when you're thinking about, just physical self care in general, people fail to realize in any aspect of self care, whether it's physical, mental, emotional,
Hmm.
whatever it may be, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. And I think that's like a really big thing in our community. Like we want to be there for
Hmm.
everybody, especially within our families. And it's just like, for me, it was like if I don't get myself to a point where I'm healthy, how can I help my parents who are
Hmm.
older? And when you look at diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and things like that, a lot of times we are dismissive to the fact that if we do make those minor changes, if we're just eating healthier, if we're exercising, we're just going to sleep, those things do so much good for our bodies that we can get to a point where we either break those generational curses,
Yeah.
which we think we're predisposed to, or even just get ourselves to a point where we don't need the medication that we're prescribed.
Yes.
In traditional medicine, a lot of times, we're prescribed medicine before we're given, that prescriptive take care of yourself.
The preventive,
Yeah,
measures of it instead of just masking, or,
right.
the ailment. Yeah.
And that's what I love about public health, because that's the goal of public health is like, that prevention education.
Hmm.
You can, if you just take the chance and, take those steps to take care of yourself, you don't need a lot of the stuff that we end up thinking that we needing, and, we can be fine. Um, and I think if we just take those steps or just get more comfortable with that, then there's a lot that can be accomplished. Yeah.
So can you just talk about, so those of people who are listening, especially again those in our community, what do those steps look like?
So I have like 8 little mini tips of self
All
care that I
right, go
wanted to
ahead,
share.
girl. Go ahead.
That I wanted to share today. But I'm gonna start at the bottom. So some of the most simplest things that we can do, is really just have those moments where we have a spa day. A lot of times we think the grind doesn't stop. We got to keep going. We don't take sick days. We don't take PTO. But
Mhm.
one of the things I had to learn early on as a professional, and I used to work for a nonprofit at one point, is if I pass out today, somebody else is gonna be doing that job tomorrow if
Yes.
needed. Like there's no need for me to burn myself all the way out for this job that if I have to step away or if I'm not doing, the quality of work that I'm capable of, they're not
Mm-hmm.
going to have any problem with letting me go.
None, not at all.
Not
None.
at all, because I'm not helping them in the health of their business and what's going
Yeah.
on. So I think you have to think of yourself as a business and to say, okay, well, what am I doing to contribute to my bottom line and my effectiveness?
Mm-hmm.
So like this week, I had a spa week. I went and I got me a 90-minute massage on Monday. I
Mm.
had a 60-minute massage and a facial on Wednesday.
Yes.
I got stretched on Friday. And I felt fabulous. And I think we don't take enough of those moments to just pause and have those self-care days in general when it comes to physical care. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. Maybe you just spend a day, you go for a walk
Mm-hmm.
during lunch, or you just take that day for yourself, a mental health day, whatever it is. Like, it all overlaps.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep, we think, team no sleep. I sleep when I'm dead. You're gonna end up dead if you're not going to sleep, and you're not gonna be able to use anything that you are working for. And as adults, we need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's when
Mm.
our bodies reboot. It's
Okay.
when our brains just kind of, connect everything that we've done during the day, how we work through processes in the back of our mind. Like, you need that time to sleep.
Okay.
Um, and people forfeit that, and they feel the rise. Like, when you don't get enough sleep, like, all the stuff with physical care works together. So if you're not taking care of your physical body, eventually you start to wear yourself down in your mental, body, and your
Mm-hmm.
ability to, focus and be social, and your occupational. It all kind of goes together. Drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
People hate water, but water is so good for you. And my goal is always to try to drink at least like half my body weight in
Yeah, that's
ounces.
what I hear. Half your body weight. Yeah.
But then you have people like, my goal is to be like Gabrielle Union. She drinks like I think four
Leaders.
gallons of, or I think it's gallons or liters, one of
Mm-hmm.
those, every day. And
Mm.
Gabby looks beautiful.
She
her
does. She's
her
older than
skin
I
is
am, and she looks good.
right. Her skin is popping. Like, she just looks lovely. And when you drink water, people don't realize sometimes, as we get older, we are socialized away from knowing our hunger cues.
Mm.
So sometimes you can be thirsty and you think you're hungry. So you should probably grab
Mm.
water first. And that water, is good for detoxifying your body and just keeping you hydrated. Your whole body would be happy, because you don't drink enough water, you get dehydrated, and it's just a miserable time.
I mean, and
Um,
I know the importance of water. I do. I do.
mhm.
I think a lot of us don't like the effects of it. Going to the bathroom every 2 minutes. Do that eventually subsides, or?
So I learned the hard way how to drink more water. Because I was drinking way too much, and I had like a 45-minute commute, and I was like, oh
Ooh.
man, this is dangerous. So I did some research on it, and basically what you're supposed to do is slowly increase your water over time. So if you're only
Mm.
drinking, 16 ounces, a bottle of water a day, you can't go from 16 ounces today and then tomorrow drink 4 liters of water. You just slowly, get your body used to filtering the water and kind of, use it in
Mm.
your body. Also just breaking it up over time. So don't just gulp the water down at
Yeah.
one point during the day. Like, if you just drink a little bit over time over the course of the day, you slowly um kind of get a better sense of when you have to go to the bathroom. You can kind of schedule it a little better.
Okay.
So where we're messing up with our water goals is just we're just drinking too much starting off, and we're just filling our bladders up and not giving our bodies the time to just really kind of
Mm.
accept and embrace the water. So slowly build your way up
I've
versus just
never heard of that. Thank
jumping in
you.
there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, it's a game changer. It's definitely a game changer,
Okay.
because you drink too much water and just like, oh my gosh, I keep having to go to the
Yes.
bathroom. And then some people don't like the flavor of water, but you can add fruit to it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
What
Flavor
about like the
drops.
sparkling water, the mineral waters? You recommend those?
You can drink the mineral water. I know a lot of people are drinking the waters with the polarized water. There's like the pH, and I really feel like it really depends on what your goal is. I think in any instance, if you're making changes, especially if you're drinking water with minerals in it, or water where,
Like the alkaline water?
yeah, like the alkaline water
Mhm.
and everything, um, you want to make sure that you're talking to your doctor before you make any. changes.
Okay.
Especially if you're taking any medication and things like that, because you don't want stuff to interact.
Mm.
And just if any changes you make sure you do your research, because some people swear by things and there's like actually no scientific studies to support
Okay.
the benefits of those things. But I do have a friend, she drinks alkaline water faithfully, and she says it works great for her. It makes her
Okay.
feel pretty good. Me, I drink just regular filtered water. I'm
Okay.
just daddy. um, but yeah, I think that's just like the one thing of that is just making sure if you're going to drink alkaline water, any kind of water that's been adjusted in any way, if you're taking any medications, get approved first and make sure
Okay.
it's not going to interact.
Okay.
Um, what else is on my list? Exercise.
Hey.
I don't like to exercise, but you actually should be getting like 150 minutes worth of just moderate to intense exercise every week, and that's just
Okay.
good for your heart. It helps you release stress,
Mhm.
and I know some people they jump head first into working out with no plan, and that usually discourages you once
Yeah.
you kind of hit a wall. It's like, oh my gosh, like my body's hurting and things like that. So I always recommend starting off small, doing a 15-minute walk or joining a fitness class. So fitness classes are good too because you don't have to think about what you need to do or how to do it.
Yeah.
There's somebody there to kind of walk you through that, or getting yourself a personal trainer or a health coach. Hey guys, to help you kind of have a plan of what you're going to do and what you plan to accomplish with your exercise,
Okay.
and just tailoring that from day to day. But what I love about exercise, and for me, I work out in the morning because you release endorphins and serotonin and dopamine, and those are hormones and neurotransmitters that actually make you feel good.
Hmm.
So with endorphins, it makes you kind of a little less sensitive to pain and puts you kind of in a happy place. And then serotonin and dopamine definitely do that as well.
Okay.
But when you're releasing those, especially in the morning, it kind of helps you just have a more positive outlook on the day. If you have any
It,
issues with like,
it does. I can attest to that because I really I'm not a morning person.
uh-huh,
So I was always accustomed working out like after work, and I still do that. But when I was with a trainer, we will work out about what 5:30 a.m.
mhm,
and yeah, I can honestly say like my day when I was doing that constantly,
yeah,
I could tell the difference. So I am going back to 5:30 classes, but at the fitness
at the
pole
fitness
fitness.
place. Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes a difference, and that's why I do it because I mean, studies have shown it helps if you have issues with like anxiety and depression and things like that. Having that physical
Mm,
exercise, is not just good for building your body and looking good. It makes you feel good internally
mhm.
as well. And especially in our community, we think about just like cardiovascular health and
Yes.
just being able to burn fat and not hold on to it.
Mhm.
We want to be working out and being active and moving, just get moving. If you're not moving, especially with the pandemic going on right now and you've just been in the house,
Working from
just go out,
home.
working from home, go
Mhm.
outside and go for a walk. For me, I actually bought a little exercise bike from Amazon. It cost me like $200,
Mm,
but it helped when my gym closed down. My gym actually never reopened. And as I just hop on the bike, and I was like, if I'm going to sit here and watch TV and do nothing, I can sit on the bike and ride the bike and watch
yes.
TV and get my 30 minutes in really quickly. Um, and exercise doesn't necessarily have to be, strength training where you're lifting weights, or we were talking about earlier, upper body. People don't want to have their
Yes.
arms all closed. You just have to find the exercise that fits you, whether it's fitness class and boot camp or Pilates,
Mhm.
yoga, swimming, whatever you get excited about and can actually get yourself up to go out and do. Find something that you can stick to and go for it, and
Yeah.
it's gonna make you feel so much better just from you gonna look good,
Mhm.
feel good,
Mhm.
and it just it's something so simple that you can do just 15 to 30 minutes out of your day and
Yeah.
you're done.
And
It
it
just has to be
produces
simple.
multiple benefits.
Multiple benefits with
Yeah.
that. Um, and then my other two to three were, eating healthy.
Okay.
Um, you want to make sure that you're getting a balanced diet. And that can be a little challenging sometimes when you
Yeah.
think about, how you're taught to cook versus what's actually going to provide you the most nutritional benefits. But there's websites like choosemyplate.gov, and it'll tell you just kind of how you should break things out in your food groups. If you're looking for calorie goals, if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight, it'll tell you how many calories you should eat, how to kind of plan your diet around those calorie goals, um, and just really just find a ways to kind of be healthy. For me, I'm very picky. I don't love vegetables. Um,
Mm.
I do not. And if people always are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't like vegetables. You're a health coach." I don't. But one way I trick myself into getting my servings that I need to have, I make smoothies. So I
Yeah.
do green smoothies, pretty much every day, and that helps me hide my vegetables in and
Okay.
make it balanced. Add my protein in, and I found fun ways to just make it taste good, but then hit all my markers I need to hit.
And that can probably work with kids as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep. Spinach, you barely can taste spinach. You can hide it under anything. Kale and arugula have a more interesting flavor, so
Hmm.
they stick
Hmm.
out. But spinach actually has a lot of protein in it in itself, so I like to use spinach more so as a base anyway. But any kind of berry, apples, bananas, strawberries, those have a very good flavor. They're naturally sweet, so you don't
Hmm.
really have to add sugar. And that's one of the things you want to be mindful of if you're doing this. Don't go adding sugar. If you're gonna, if you need to do it, use like a natural agave nectar.
I use a little. I use a little. I have because I like I like it sweet. I mean, not too sweet, but I use a little bit of raw, organic honey, just a little bit.
Yes, I use honey sometimes as well. Some people will want to use like stevia, like those artificial
Mm.
sugars, but they're not really good for you.
No.
People hype them up because they're, I guess, kind of empty. They're not really
Hmm.
um, as dense when it comes to calories and things. However, it's hard for your body to break them down. So you do
Hmm.
better just to use regular sugar at that point.
Right.
It's just like, why am I going to put this in my body if it's not gonna? It's
Right.
just gonna
Break
make
it
it
down.
make it
Yeah.
angry. So I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, the honey or the agave nectar is really good to use as sweetening if you must. But most fruits, if you're adding any fruits, will be more than sweet enough. You got to actually be
Yeah.
careful not to go too high with those. But yeah, that's how I hide my vegetables in mine. And then you can actually buy the um little containers of the powdered form of vegetables.
Hmm.
And fruits and vegetables where you can get your servings. And there's a couple different companies that does those where you can just add them to water or apple juice, and then you get your servings of fruit and vegetables
Oh,
per
okay.
day. But you definitely want to do whatever you can to try to get it from as many raw,
Yeah.
unprocessed
Fresh.
sources as
Yeah.
possible, fresh. Um, Taking a break and just breathing.
Mm.
I meditate sometimes when
Okay.
I just feel like I need to relax, especially when you're sitting at a desk
Oh, girl,
or
yes, I do
yeah.
that. I have on my from time to time at my desk because people sometimes if I can keep my peace. I have the Calm app, and
Okay, I have it too.
I meditate and listen to it at my desk. So yeah, I can attest to that.
Yes, I call it my attitude adjuster because I'm just like, ooh,
Mm,
I can't talk to you right now. Let me just breathe.
mm,
Um, and I like that. I've had a Fitbit, but I have an Apple Watch right now. But a lot of the sports and fitness watches right now have those some version of a breathe app that will take you through guided breathing. And really just the goal of that is just being able to increase the amount of oxygen that you're taking in because again, it kind of just helps you relax and um, like I said, everything ties together when you think about mental, physical, and emotional. So it helps you kind of just take a moment to breathe and refocus and recenter. And I love that. And then with the aromatherapy, because I love some aromatherapy,
yes.
I diffuse essential oils sometimes. So like lavender, peppermint. I love orange,
Me too.
lemongrass.
I mix my lemongrass and orange in my diffuser.
Yes. I use Young Living oils, so they
Okay.
have a couple different blends, and one of my favorite blends by them is called Valor, and it helps instill like confidence and calm. They have like one called Peace and Calming, um, and it incites peace and calming. But with aromatherapy, with that, it's so easy to make stuff at home. So I'll make like bath bombs. You
Mm-hmm.
can make like little soaps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll make just little simple like little roller oils to put on my arm
Yeah.
just to kind
Yeah.
of breathe it in during the day, or I'll put it on my bracelets so that I can just breathe it
Mhm.
in. And that is another way just to get your body to naturally relax, and just a holistic way to kind of treat
Mhm.
some things if you're having issues with your body versus like, oh, let me go take some medicine.
Yeah.
So I love doing that with aromatherapy and really just taking a moment to just stop and breathe, because our body is equipped to do everything we needed to do to heal itself, and for us to just kind of keep moving, we just have to take care of it. And I think that's one of those lost skills that we're not being taught. It's like, your body will do everything you
Mm,
need it to do, just take care of it.
I like that. Oh, that was some good tips, Tiara. That was some very good tips.
Thank you,
She
thank
she know what she's talking about, y'all. Now, so I know you are a health coach,
you.
so I know you have clients. Now, do you only do clients that are local, or do you do virtual? How
No, I do virtual.
okay.
So my practice is a virtual coaching practice. So I meet with my clients via Zoom. We do just some general work as far as goal setting, and then we talk about what they want to do, what they want to work on, where they are, and then we kind of move from there. And then I also have some just like online curriculum things that I've been working on that I share with them as well, for them to kind of, if you want to do things, something self-paced, that you can. So you don't necessarily have to have that one-to-one coaching piece. Um, but yeah, anywhere, everywhere.
Oh, see,
If you need
so
help,
yeah, if you need help,
let's
you're
talk.
listening to this and you love the tips that Tiara has given us thus far, you know that she has so much more knowledge to give. You
Mhm.
can look her up on her website. If you're
Mhm.
just listening to this, it's T Scott, excuse me, tscottwellness.com. And she's on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest with the handle T Scott Wellness. And you can also
Mhm.
email her Tiara Tiara at tscottwellness.com. This has been good. It's
I'm so excited we were able to
oh, this
do
has
this.
been
Thank you for
good.
having
So
me.
well, thank you for coming. And this is going to help. I know this is going to help a lot of people to get
Mhm.
started in their wellness journey, and to get started to taking care of themselves.
Mhm.
And again, if you want to have Tiara be your wellness coach, just contact her, and I know she'll be
Please.
more than happy to do that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So that was great. It was a great first episode. Okay, because I'm gonna make this the first episode. So
Awesome.
yeah, and it's gonna air. You guys know it. It always airs and publish on Wednesdays. All the major streaming platforms, your iHeartRadio, your Stitcher, um, Tune, Tune in Radio, some everything. Okay, Apple Podcasts, and then but if you want to watch it, you can watch it on our Facebook page. You can watch it on our Instagram page, on our IGTV, and you can watch it on YouTube. Kicking it with Kay and Clay. And we thank you so much. Next week, we're going to have another expert on, and we're going to address another sector of self care, because what we're going to address in this series is what we just addressed the physical. We're going to address the mental and social. That's going to work kind of together. We're going to address the physical and the spiritual, because, like Tiara said, it all works together. Um,
Mhm.
it all works together. And the goal is to be your best self, live your best life. So,
And you can. You
yeah, yeah,
can.
you can. And let your body do what it was created to do. Let it work for you and not against you. So, we have to take care of that. Right. All right. So thank you so much, Tiara. Again,
Thank
great.
you.
I learned some things within these 40 minutes. That was great. That was some good stuff. I'm excited.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. to spread the word, get it out there, because it's going to help. It's going to help people. And we will see you next week. Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Picking it with Kay and Clay. Picking it with Kay and Clay.